You, right now, listening to this video, might be winning a large chunk of silver for free. 2 of you actually, so your chances just doubled. All you have to do is click one button, subscribe. Once we hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to jump out of an airplane and announce the 2 winners mid-flight with a GoPro attached to my helmet so you could watch it all unfold. I'm going skydiving in celebration of 100,000 subscribers so you can celebrate winning while I'm literally falling out of the sky, hopefully not to my death. Make sure you don't miss it because this will be a beautifully horrific sight to see.
Connection established.
This is your last warning. If you have not entered my silver giveaway yet, you will miss out and you will regret it. We currently have 99,919 subscribers. We are about to hit 100,000 subscribers probably by the end of the night. So go enter, and like always, may the luckiest stackers win, and I will be announcing the names as I jump out of an airplane. Good luck, everyone. Silver market update. The strongly bullish case for silver could not be more clear. This was written 2 days ago, fresh off the press, saying that it is crystal clear what's going on. Silver is extremely bullish. But why? We are about to break down this chart analysis of why they claim that silver is so bullish. It's easy to say something, but to back it up is a whole different ballgame. But looking by this chart, they've done their homework. The bullish case for silver and silver investments could not be clearer. And this being so, it won't take long to set it out. We'll start with the very long-term 20-year chart, which makes it crystal clear on what's going on. On this chart, we will see a huge and magnificent cup and handle base which has built over the past 11 years, and the pattern is now complete, meaning that breakout is likely imminent, which is hardly surprising given how gold, shown at the top of this chart, has already broken out into a major new bull market and is romping ahead. The reason for this, currency collapse and spreading wars, are not the subject of this article. I like that. It brings a lot of good points to the table and a lot of assumptions that people would have thought, or a lot of assumptions that people do attach to silver, or where silver's headed, or silver's potential, or silver's true value. They're missing the entire point of why my name is Silver Slayer, and they're not, and this is why they will look at silver and think nothing of it at $25, or think that $50 silver is impossible, because they're not realizing what makes silver have its value, or why it has so much potential. This is a good juncture to address the issue of how, in the early stages of a major sector bull market, gold and gold investments hog the limelight, usually leaving silver and silver investments to bring up the rear. This time around, silver looks set to do a lot better in the early stages of this bull market. But why? Because it is so horribly undervalued relative to gold, as the following long-term 20-year silver over gold chart makes clear. So here is silver over gold from 1980. Well, we have to give some context then. Well, what happened in 1980? That was the highest price silver's ever been, still till this day, $50. But why, Silver Slayer? What happened? Well, it was the Hunt brothers, 3 billionaire brothers cornered the silver market. What they did was they bought up all the silver on the COMEX, all of it. And when I say all of it, some say they owned up to 70% of the entire silver supply. Now, I don't think it's that high, but it just gives you an idea of how much they owned. A large percentage, probably not 70% like some say, but a large amount, enough to do significant damage, enough to make, and this is the important part, enough to make the government ban silver on the spot. They said these guys cannot have all this because, you know what? They turned it into physical delivery. That's the problem. That's where silver's price can be held down, because there is not an even amount of paper contracts to the physical metal. And that's why I say if you can't hold it, you don't own it. it's a facade. There's not that much physical silver out there. And when these guys try to expose that to turn all their contracts into physical, the government's like, whoa, 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 we can't do that. We don't have enough silver. How are we going to do that? We don't have enough silver. It's going to expose how corrupt we are, this facade. So what they do, they banned silver on the COMEX. It was called Silver Rule 7. They banned it. You could not buy silver. And what did that do? It crashed the price. So during this, while they were doing all this, the price was up to $50. They banned silver on the spot, and then the price plummeted back down to like $5. That was the Hunt Brothers saga. We can see here how low, or how lows in the silver to gold ratio synchronize with lows in both gold and silver and in precious metal stocks, now at an extremely low level from which it is reasonable to expect a major bull market to develop. And you can see here's the end of the 2015 sector slump, and that is with gold. But look at silver. There's these bottoms right here they're pointing out. Silver has a huge amount of catching up to do, and once it breaks out above the resistance at the upper boundary of the cup and handle base pattern, it is expected to race quickly towards 2011 highs in the $50 area as an initial objective. There is a lot of catching up to do. People try to say, well, what is silver doing? It's not even half of its all-time high, but look at gold. Exactly. Silver always follows gold. It always does. But it just lags a little bit. And when it does catch up, it does so to more dramatic amounts, much more dramatic amounts. It's like two volcanoes. Silver has a volcano, gold has a volcano. Gold's volcano already erupted. Silver's volcano hasn't erupted yet. And the more magma builds up, the bigger and bigger that explosion is going to be. Silver has a huge amount of catching up to do, and once it breaks out above the resistance at the upper boundary, which I'm assuming is probably like around the $30 range, then $50 coming. Zooming in, the 5-year chart enables us to examine how, or that the handle part of the giant cup and handle base in more detail, and thus see why silver has been dithering around somewhat this month on gold's breakout and has, comparatively speaking, not done very well. The reason for this is easy to spot. Unlike gold, it has a considerable amount of overhanging supply to work off before it breaks out of the base pattern. But that said, it attacks on the $25, $26 area over the past year or so have already chewed through a lot of which it means that would be sellers having second thoughts as gold continues to ascend. It could bust through the remaining resistance with surpassing electricity in the weeks to come, and if that goes above, or if it gets close to that 2020 level, the 2020 high level in the $30 area, it could accelerate dramatically. I mean, silver went from $11 in March of 2020 up 176%, 176% increase. It was $11 in 2020, March 2020, and then by early February 2021, it was $30. It shows this head and shoulders bottom. I'm not a chart expert analysis. I'm just reading off what's going here. It's very complicated, but obviously there is a pattern here, and it's recognizing these patterns, and not only just the charts, but incorporating what's also happening in the economy and geopolitically. So if you can look at these charts, see what's happening, compare and contrast the numbers and the patterns, as well as try to incorporate, okay, well, we also have the November election, this is what the dollar indexes do, this is what interest rates are doing, you can have a pretty good idea of what the markets are going to do. Now, also remembering that there's a lot of unknown variables, but you still get a very clear idea, and right now, the whole point is that silver looks extremely explosive. So here's the resistance, continuing resistance around that $30 to $27 level. This is a most important chart which makes a couple of things crystal clear. The first is that with gold having staged a clear and powerful breakout to begin a major bull market, silver is not going to stay down here for long. And keep in mind that silver is only $5 away from clearing all the resistance shown and could do so very rapidly. There's still plenty of upside on the MACD. So we should not be confused by the seemingly random walk meanderings that we see on the shorter term 6-month chart, whose main use is to show us gold's much stronger performance this month and how any further significant gains by silver will quickly lead to its moving averages swinging into strongly bullish alignment. So here's gold's powerful and decisive breakout this month means a major new sector. Bull market has started, which must happen, and all capitals must happen because of accelerating currency debasement, and silver must follow gold, like I mentioned. And here is another significant up leg will soon lead to a bullish cross of the moving averages. Now, I mean, this is, you got to remember, like this is all fat, this is what the chart shows, right? So while silver's recent performance may look unimpressive relative to gold, we should keep in mind 2 points. One is that silver has overhanging supply to work through while gold doesn't, and the other is that silver lags gold during the early stages of a precious metal sector bull market. But there's a lot more to it than just that. Also, that the gold to silver ratio is extremely out of whack right now, and silver is going to continue outperforming gold as the ratio starts falling down again, as it has been since 91 to 1. Now it's down to like 85 to 1, meaning that silver is going to keep outperforming its big brother. And I do like, though, that the charts can bring the other side of the aisle into play. Usually I will just talk about the economy or what interest rates are doing, but this shows the other side. The real proof is in the pudding. The numbers, these numbers don't lie. These are the actual numbers on a day-to-day basis of these prices, and looking at the double bottoms or looking at these cup and handle, these patterns. I mean, this is the stuff going on behind the scenes, the data that you also need to analyze, or you'll be missing a big piece of the puzzle. The conclusion is that time is quickly running out to buy silver and silver-related investments at the current bargain basement prices, and that if you are minded to do so, you better get on with it. And that, I mean, a lot of people are going to buy silver once it's already exploded. That's how most markets work. Most people didn't start buying gold until it exploded. Most people didn't start touching Bitcoin until after it exploded, because they need that validation and that confirmation that it can go higher. But that's the opposite of how you're supposed to do it. It's supposed to be buy low, sell high. Buy low while it's undervalued. Right now, silver is undervalued. It's extremely cheap. You buy low before the curve. Another funny way to look at it is just do the exact opposite of what the average investor does, and you'll be successful, because most people do things backwards. Just do the opposite of them. When most people are buying, you should be selling, because they'll buy when it's high. When most people are selling, you should be buying. Most people sell once the price is low. They gave up. That's why it's called panic selling. They sell once they see their investment down to $22 when they got in at $30 during the Wall Street movement hype train. They jumped in because everyone else told them to. They saw their friends do it, and they bought in at $30, and then it drops back down. It starts correcting back down to $22, and they sell. And they sold it because they're like, I made a mistake. Do the opposite of what most people do. Buy low, sell high. Don't buy high, hope it goes higher, and if it doesn't go higher, then sell it once it goes lower. Get in before the curve. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Remember, we are about to hit 100K. It's huge achievement for us. And I say us because it is truly us. I've been working every day for a long time, long time, almost a decade now, to make this happen. And I appreciate you all a lot. And I'm really terrified to do what I'm going to do, but I want to make it as epic as possible in a new chapter. So yeah, anyways, I love you all. Thanks you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.